Hello guys, what's up? Let's start your next chapter, chapter 4, inspection, inquiry and investigation. I believe you have gone through the chapter 3, revised, try to solve the questions on your own and try to even look into those questions which have told you that ICA has given your case based question and MCQ scenarios. So go through that as well. See if you have any doubts. If you have doubts, then leave a comment below. I'll look into it and I'll try to get back to you on the solution part. Clear? Yes, I hope you can do that. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, the next chapter talks about. Huh, done. Sir, what is the next chapter? Sir, chapter 4, inspection, inquiry, and investigation. Sir, till today we did not know that these three are three different words. We thought all three are interchangeably used. Inspection, inquiry, and investigation. Sir, till today we thought all three were same. Yes, sir. All we thought all three were same, sir. But what is this, sir? Okay, now listen. People on the face of it, inspection, inquiry, investigation. In general scenario, we use this interchangeably. We thought inspection and inquiry and investigation are almost one and the same. But as per as Companies Act, as per as our particular discussion is concerned now, these three things have three different meanings. Our major discussion will be revolving around investigation, inspection, and inquiry are the minor parts. Almost the majority of the part will be around investigation. Sir, now what is the difference between this inspection, inquiry, and investigation? When will this come into picture? Now, people, if it's a private company, if it's a OPC, it's always a closely held company. We do not get much problems. Now, imagine if it is a public company, listed company. Sir, the interests of many people are involved in that particular company. So, sir, at any given point of time, there are various authorities who can start an inspection or an inquiry or an investigation on a company to know what is actually happening in that company. So whether if the company is doing a fraudulent business, sir, if they are trying to cheat some creditors, sir, what is exactly happening in the company, we will know through this chapter. Sir, if at all they are found guilty, obviously they'll be punishable, and certain cases, imprisonment, everything comes into picture. So this is the gist of this particular chapter. Sir, okay, sir. Sir, now after knowing what we are studying, now let us first understand what are these three terminologies: inspection, inquiry, and investigation. Sir, the bad part is that all the three words, they are not defined under your Companies Act. They have not told what is inspection, they have not told what is inquiry, they have not told what is investigation. I'll tell you a small scenario. Imagine, of course, you guys do not do, I know that, and I'm not promoting any bad habit here, but I'm just giving you an example. We'll be watching in these movies. Sir, there will always be a hero. Yes, sir, hero will be there, sir. Sir, hero will have a smoking habit. Yes, sir, correct, sir. Sir, one day, the hero will come back home. Hero will have a sister. This sister will always, in the movies, the hero and the hero sister will always fight. Yeah, in the movies, that is how it is. And in the second half, the hero will only fight for the sister. Correct? That is how our Indian movies will be. Yes, sir. So, sir, now imagine one day the hero smoked and he came back home. His sister, she got some weird smell, the smell of tobacco. She was able to get it from his brother. Now, she wanted to see whether this is true or not. So, what did she do? She came close to him. She started smelling him. So, he removed his shirt and he went to, freshen up. She took the shirt and she started, smelling around whether there is actually a smell of cigarette coming from it or not. Sir, in this particular process, she may also end up searching for a cigarette in a pocket or in his bag or in his pant. She may search for a lighter. Okay, sir. Sir, assume she got a cigarette or she got a lighter. Now she will call the hero, that is her brother. She will start asking questions. Whom does this cigarette belong to? Why are you having it? Because you never know, people. Your friend might have put it in your pocket. You cannot jump to a conclusion. So she needs to probe into things. So she will ask him directly, yeah, is this yours? From when are you doing? She will ask, like, it will be like a real interrogation. Now it is the chance of the hero. If at all he can give a convincing answer, absolutely fine. The sister is convinced. If the brother says that that's not mine, that's my friend's cigarette. Yeah, the sister is convinced. There ends the case. Sir, imagine, sir, if at all the brother is not able to give a convincing answer, or the brother says, yes, it is mine. Now what will you do? He will ask the sister back. The sister now will go and report it to who, sir? Either the mother or the father of the house. Sir, now they will come into picture. Now they will give the what, sir? Whatever the hero needs to get. They will generally push him out of the house for one day. Sir, there will be a lot of scoldings. If it is a very raw movie, if it is a very middle class movie and all, then the father will hit the son. Everything will happen, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, now how is that story even relevant here? People, the same thing, now replace it with scenarios. Sir, when the hero came to the house, when the sister started getting the smell of cigarette, when she started smelling around the cigarette, the shirt, she started searching for a cigarette. Sir, that stage is inspection. The first stage where everything starts. So that stage is called inspection. Sir, now once she was able to get a cigarette, she found a cigarette. So now she started questioning him. Whom does this belong to? Was it yours? We try to put the party in utmost pressure to find out whether he has done something wrong or not. Sir, now that process is inquiry. Sir, the last part, when the first two we are sure, then we will get into detail, dig into detail. Sir, that is the last part, investigation. Investigation always happens at the last. Investigation happens when, yes, at times it is a serious offense, or we need to know more things. We cannot stop here. So we will dig into detail. Sir, that step is called investigation. So, sir, inspection, inquiry, and investigation. Inspection happens on the face of it. Inquiry happens by calling the parties for information, calling the parties for certain documents. Sir, investigation is where there will be an officer appointed. He will actually come to your office. He will check whatever details he wants. He will take whatever he wants. He can take your books. He can take your records. He can take your registers. Sir, for conducting an investigation. So, sir, this is the process. As I told you, these three words are not defined in the act, but based on different acts or our legal dictionary meaning, I have given the meaning of these three words here. Yes, sir. But, sir, is it what is the meaning? No, this is not the meaning because it is not defined under your act. Clear, sir? Pakka, sure, understood the scenario. Okay, sir. Now, I've tried to explain everything in this charts. So let us first see the charts and let us see what the law says, so that there will be no chance for any missing of any interpretation. Yes, sir. Sir, everything starts with section 206. Sir, power to call for information, inspect books, and conduct inquiries. So, sir, how does everything starts? Sir, now listen. Sir, till now, from your CA Inter, in your articleship, sir, even now in 3 chapters, we have seen that in many places you will be filing many forms with ROC. The registrar, you are filing many forms for appointment, shifting of registered office, sir, for incorporation, sir, appointing a director, sir, charge creation, sir, there are many places you are filing. Sir, say for example, appointment of directors, the DIR 12, MR1, wherever it is required, wherever it is needed, we have been seeing it. So you will be filing it with the registrar. Sir, now with whatever details the registrar has, the registrar thinks that you are doing something fishy. I'm not sure whether whatever you're doing is right or wrong. I'm not sure whether you're doing the business in the proper way. The registrar can start digging into information on whatever information you have filed. So, sir, section 206 talks about that. Now, see here. Sir, on scrutiny of any document, by the registrar, he requires further information or explanation. Sir, how did the registrar even get the documents? Sir, the documents can be filed by the company or any other person. Sir, company, we will be generally filing many forms with the registrar. We'll be filing many forms. So, sir, the registrar is now scrutinizing it. Sir, he is going through the documents. Sir, when he was going through the documents, the registrar feels something is not okay here. The registrar may request for further information, more information. Now, say for example, you have appointed a director. The registrar wants to know certain more information, the profits of the company. He needs to know whether you have paid the remuneration as per Schedule 5. So he may request for further information or further explanation. Okay, sir. Sir, how will he ask? By a return notice, the registrar, he will send a notice to the company requiring such further information. Sir, why will he send that information, sir? Why will he send that notice? The registrar will send a notice to the company to furnish such other information. I want some clarification or an explanation over a particular thing. Or he can ask the company to produce certain documents. Sir, it can be either to furnish certain information or an explanation, or to produce certain documents. I need certain documents. You give me these documents. So the registrar can either ask for further information or the company. Sir, till now what has happened? Initially you have filed the forms as per the Companies Act. The registrar is scrutinizing those forms. Somewhere he felt he needs some more information to check this work. He will ask certain more information or clarification, or he will ask for certain additional documents to the company. Sir, now the company got the request. Once the company got the request, the company, it is its duty now. Sir, what is the company's duty? Whoever are the officers of the company. Sir, it can be directors, employees, managers. Now, once the company receives the notice from the registrar, it is their duty to give the documents, whatever is asked, and to give whatever information the registrar is asking here. Sir, registrar is asking for information. The company received the notice. It will be the duty of every officer and employee to give certain information asked by the registrar. Sir, at the same time, it is a duty of the officers to give, that is, provide information, provide documents, and furnish information to the registrar. People, here there can be a question. What, sir? Sir, imagine 2019 January to 2000, say for example, December 2020. Okay, sorry, December 2019. Sir, there was a person called Mr. X who was working in the company. Sir, Mr. X left the company on January 1st, 2020. So he worked in the company for 1 year and he left the company. Sir, in the year 2020, say assume around June 2020, the registrar was checking the details of this company. The name of the company was assume XYZ Limited. The registrar was checking the details of this company. Yes, sir. When, sir? In the month of June 2020. The registrar, he realized that there is some problem during this period. When, sir? Sir, somewhere in July 2019, whatever are the information which was given by the company, something is not proper. It is not adequate. So what did the registrar do? Registrar issued a notice. To whom, sir? To company. Sir, why, sir? For asking for information or for providing certain documents which relates to July 2019. People, this is a reason in various sections you will be seeing that the company shall maintain the documents for a period of 8 years permanently, because registrar can ask it anytime whenever he wants. Sir, now registrar has asked the documents whichever is relevant to July 2019. Sir, now the problem was Mr. X, whoever was the person in charge, he has left the company and he has went. Sir, now should he come and should he answer the questions of ROC, or he can just neglect it because he is done away with the company? He is now working in the new company. Should he still come and report it to the registrar? That is, should he actually come and give the information, or should he come and give the documents? Or he can ignore the request because he is no longer working with the company. The exam based question, once they had asked this. Now you think and tell me that whether Mr. X, is he free from the obligation of giving the documents and information, or is Mr. X liable to give whatever information or documents the registrar is asking for? Yes, all of you are absolutely right. What, sir? Yes, sir. Mr. X will be liable. Whether you are a past employee or present employee doesn't make difference whenever the information is called upon. Sir, whenever the information is called upon, it will be the duty of every past officer and present officer. People, the questionable point here is the past. Even the past employees will be liable to pay, or will be liable to give the information or the documents whatever is asked by the registrar. Clear? Yes, sir. Sir, now. Yes, sir. Sir, now. Sir, the company, whatever information was required by the ROC, sir, information or document is given by the company to ROC. Sir, first ROC check their initial documents, or assume some other person has given some complaint. Sir, see the first one. Sir, on scrutiny of any document by ROC, sir, that document can be given by the company or any other person. So any other person could have also given that particular document. Yes, sir. Sir, the ROC is asking for further information or document. Yes, sir. The company has given that also. Yes, sir. Sir, now assume the company needs further more information. Sir, now the company has given information. ROC need further more documents. Sir, ROC may by written notice request for further documents again. It can be books of accounts, registers, books, papers, vouchers, anything. Sir, it will tell that company you should give me these things within such and such time. Sir, it will request for those documents with the company. Sir, now the company may, being a very, very good student, it may give all the information. No, sir, the company is not like that. Sir, company furnishes no information. Now this time, the possibility is that the company did not give any information, or sir, it has given but it is inadequate information. Sir, or with whatever information the company is given, ROC is satisfied that whatever information is given, it is unsatisfactory. I am able to know that the company is not being handled properly, and the whatever documents the company has given, ROC is satisfied that it does not disclose the full and fair disclosure. whatever is the adequate information, it is not there in this document, and ROC is satisfied with that. Sir, now in these three cases where, sir, assume if the company is not giving any information, in the such case where no information is furnished by company and officer, shall be liable with fine of rupees 1 lakh and 500 rupees for every continuing day of default. If the company is not at all giving information, sir, 1 lakh rupees penalty, 500 rupees further penalty for every day you delay. Sir, now assume, sir, the company has given inadequate information, or ROC is satisfied that the company is given information or unsatisfactory about the state of affairs, something is problem, ROC may order for inquiry. Sir, inquiry is coming into picture. After giving an opportunity of being heard, now ROC tells something is problem. Now I will start questioning you. I will get into detail. ROC may order for an inquiry after giving the company an opportunity of being heard. Tell me why I should not inquire into your company. You should give me a reason. If the reason is satisfactory, ROC will drop the charge. If the reasons are not satisfactory, ROC will further dig into detail. Yes, sir. Sir, after being satisfied, ROC may order for inquiry after giving an opportunity of being heard, after being satisfied that on the basis of information available, on representation made by any person that business is carried on in fraudulent or unlawful way, or the grievances of the investors are not being addressed. Sir, now ROC, now whatever information is given, now ROC made, it is clear for ROC that, sir, the company is not doing something properly, or someone has made a representation. It can be any person, it can be any person. Sir, any person, it can be a creditor of a company. Sir, it can be an employee of the company. It can be any person. Now they tell that, sir, whatever is the business done by the company, it is fraudulently done, sir, unlawful way. They are not doing properly. Sir, or whatever the investors, they have complaints, grievances. Sir, those things are not addressed by the company. Sir, in this case, ROC may start inquiry. When, sir, when it is sufficient, it is satisfied. Sir, second one, someone has made a representation that the affairs of the company is being carried on fraudulently or for unlawful means, sir, or grievance of investors are not being addressed, the ROC may order for inquiry. Yes, sir. Sir, after all that, if central government is satisfied, it may order for inspection and inquiry of books and paper of the company. It shall direct the registrar or appoint an inspector to carry out such inspection or inquiry. Sir, now ROC is satisfied, sir. We will come back to this part 206 where central government comes into picture. I will give you a cross reference. Sir, if central government is satisfied, sir, now ROC is carrying on all this. Now the matter comes to central government. It actually comes in the next sections. I'll give you a cross reference. Sir, now whatever is a report made by ROC or the inspector. Sir, now central government is satisfied that I cannot stop it here. There is some problem with the company. The central government may order for further inspection and further inquiry of the documents of the company. Sir, to do this job, the central government can either authorize the ROC to do it, or he can authorize any inspector to carry on this inspection or to carry on this inquiry. Sir, if at all in this time, if at all any person is proven guilty of fraud, that is proven that he is doing fraud or unlawful means, sir, he will be liable for a penalty under section 447. Sir, what just happened? Very simple. Sir, first the company would have filed many documents with ROC, or any other person filed a document to the ROC. Sir, on scrutinizing the document, ROC needs information. Sir, it can ask that information to the company, sir. It can be information or it can be any document. Sir, whenever any information or document it is asked, it will be the duty of every officer, employee to give all the details asked by the ROC. Sir, now after giving this, ROC feels that it needs further more information, registrar feels it needs further more information, it can ask for further information again. Now, if at any given point of time, if at all any person does not give the information asked by the registrar, such person, officer in default, shall be liable for a penalty of 1 lakh and for a continuing day of default, every day 500 rupees additional penalty. Sir, now assume if the information given is inadequate, or if ROC feels that yes, there is something unsatisfactory about this company, sir, ROC may go for inquiry state. Sir, whenever ROC believes that with whatever information, yes, a further inquiry is needed, or on a representation made by any person that the company is not carrying the business in a lawful means, they are doing fraudulent manner. Sir, in these cases, or whenever the investor says that their grievances are not addressed by the company, sir, ROC may start inquiry. Sir, after ROC has started inquiry, it further happens so that it cannot be stopped there. There is something more in the company. Central government comes into picture. Central government may ask for the central government may authorize either the inspector or the ROC to conduct further inspection or inquiry into the books, documents, information about the company. Yes, sir. Sir, section 206. Clear? Pakka? Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, whatever we have seen, the same thing, sir. Power of a registrar to call for information, explanation, or documents. Sir, this is the first time. Yes, sir. Sir, that time we need to furnish the information, produce the documents. It will be duty of the every officer. Yes, sir. Sir, additional written notice by the registrar. Registrar may ask for certain more information. Sir, if no information is furnished or inadequate information, or registrar is satisfied that there is something unsatisfactory state of affairs exists in the company, sir, in that time, the registrar shall start inquiry into the company. Sir, the registrar may call for the company for furnishing such information after giving a reasonable opportunity of being heard. When, sir? On basis of available with whatever information, representation made, sir, or grievances not being addressed. Yeah. Sir, the central government, if it is satisfied that the circumstances so exist, it may direct the registrar or inspector appointed by it for the purpose to carry out the inquiry. Sir, if anyone has been found guilty of fraud, punishable under section 447. Sir, inspection by central government. That is what we saw, inspection and inquiry by central government. So, central government may authorize any statutory authority to carry out the inspection of books of accounts of a company or class of companies. Sir, failure to furnish information, sir, penalty of 1 lakh 500 rupees for each day of default. Sir, whatever these provisions are, it shall apply even to foreign company which is given under section 228. Yes, this keeps coming every now and then. So you can even do this, whatever is we saw, we can even do it for a foreign company as well. So foreign company, a company which has which has been incorporated outside India, but it has a place of business in India. Clear, sir? Pakka, sir? Yes, sir. People, there are two questions which were asked in the past paper. One was that, is a past employee required to give should he give the notice, give the information whatever is asked by ROC? Sir, now second one, ROC may do a scrutiny on any document filed by a company or any other person. Sir, assume a shareholder filed for inquiry. They wanted ROC to start an inquiry into the company or inspection into the company. So all of them filed an application to ROC to start the inspection. Sir, after filing an application, once the ROC started the work, now whoever filed the information, sir, it can be, say, for example, members. They filed the application with ROC. Sir, we have some problem, kindly look into it. Sir, now once the ROC started its job, now the members wants to take back this application. The request, whatever they have done, can they take it back, was also asked in one of the questions. Sir, here the question, the provision is silent. There is nothing which says in the law that they can take or they cannot take. So ideally, when it is silent, we assume that once it starts, it is a matter of discretion with the registrar. So generally, they will end up the inspection or whatever they have started. Sir, like this, anyone can file a complaint on the company. No, sir. I'll tell you what is one clever move they have done. Not everyone can file like this. Why, sir? I'll tell you. There is a security deposit you need to give whenever they need to start an investigation. Yeah, I will come to that. I'll tell you. So this was one more question which was asked. Sir, section 207. Conduct of inspection and inquiry. Sir, duty of the director, officer or employee. Sir, just now we saw. Sir, whenever the ROC or the inspector, they are coming and doing an inspection or inquiry, they will just come inside, they will go to that almirah, this almirah, they will go to that cupboard, they'll ask for that information, this information. Sir, can the employee get frustrated and say, hey, don't come in? Can they say that, sir? Sir, the law says it is the duty of the director, officer or any employee. Sir, smile and say, yes, sir, how may I help you? Yes, sir, that is your duty. Sir, it is your duty to produce all such documents, whatever they have asked you in section 206. It is your duty to give those documents, whatever has been asked by the registrar in 206. Sir, furnish such information or explanation. Sir, produce is for document, furnish is for information. Sir, and not only that, you need to give all the assistance for them to conduct this inspection. You need to tell them, sir, where is which room, where will you get which information. You need to help them. So, assistance. Who, sir? Every director, officer or any employee of the company should help the inspector or the registrar. Sir, now tell me one thing. What if these people do not coordinate? Sir, what power does a registrar or inspector has? What can he do, sir? The law says, in this case, in this particular thing, whatever is the power enjoyed by the civil court, the same power will be enjoyed by the registrar or the inspector, whoever is conducting an inspection or inquiry under this provision. Whatever is the power given to civil court, same power is given to the registrar as well as the inspector conducting such inspection and inquiry. Sir, during the course of this business, what are the powers they enjoy, sir? Sir, they can discover and production of books of accounts. Sir, we do not know where the books are there. Sir, we do not know where they have hid the documents. You can go and discover it. You would have seen in certain movies, I think income tax raid. They will take a hammer, they will hit the wall, they will cause all the damages. Sir, is it justified? Yes, they can do it. As long as you have a warrant and as long as, yes, you have a sufficient grounds to believe that, yes, there can be suspicion here, then you can do it. So, discovery and production of books of accounts or any document in that aspects. Sir, summoning and enforcing the attendance, calling someone and telling, come, I want some information. Summon is when you are calling someone to come and make him talk something. You want some information from them. You can do that. So one is discovery. So second one, summon someone. So third one, you can, after getting what you want, what will you do? You can inspect. Sir, inspection of books, registers and other documents. Sir, now I am inspecting. This page is very important for my inspection, feels the registrar or inspector. What to do? The law says, because you have a timeline, you cannot keep these books or documents with you forever. In one place, I'll tell you, the maximum time we can keep the book will be 180 days. and one time another extension will be given for one more 180 days. We'll come to that part, I'll tell you. So sir, the law says you do one thing. If you want, you can take a copy of that particular document, paper, page, information, whatever you want. Sir, during the course of inspection or inquiry, that inspector or the registrar, sir, they may make copies of the books of accounts and the books and paper. Whatever they are investigation, they can make a copy there. Sir, they can also place an identification mark if they want. People, whenever you're searching the documents, it may so happen you may miss the details. Sir, I'll take a highlighter and I'll highlight it. It's okay, it's possible. Sir, I'll keep a bookmark there. Possible. Sir, I'll paste a sticky notes. It's possible. As long as you do not damage or tamper the document, you can do any of those things. So, sir, section 207 tells what is the duty of the employees or officer. First one, you need to furnish all the information or explanation. Sir, provide all such documents and provide all assistance to the such inspector or registrar. Sir, whatever is the power of the registrar or inspector here. Sir, during the course of inspection, they can place any marks there, or if they want, they can even take copies of that particular document. Sir, what are the powers enjoyed? Sir, the powers are similar to whatever is given to the civil court. That is, they can discover any document, they can summon anyone, and they can interrogate them, or they can make them talk on oath that whatever you say is true. You are not saying anything else apart from truth. You can make them say things on oath. Sir, third one, you can inspect after getting all these documents. Pakka, is this clear? Any doubt? Section 207, that is section 207. Sir, provides for conduct of inspection and inquiry. Sir, duty of director or officer or employee. Whenever it is asked, sir, you can produce documents, give information, render all assistance. Power of registrar or inspector, making an inspection under section 206. See, we have told that you need to make inspection under 206. So the power is given under section 207. Yes, sir. So, sir, inspection and inquiry was being done in 206. Sir, these people will help you to do that. Sir, while doing that, you can make copies, place any mark of identification. Sir, the registrar or inspector will enjoy the same power as that of civil court. Sir, discovery and production of books of accounts and other documents. Sir, summoning and enforcing the attendance of person and examining them on oath. Whatever I say, it is truth, that part. Sir, inspection of any books, registers and other documents. You can inspect it also, it's absolutely fine. Sure, sir. Pakka, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, penalty for contravention. Sir, if at all the director or officer of the company disobeys the direction issued by registrar or inspector, sir, they will be liable to a punishment with imprisonment which may extend to 1 year, and also the fine which shall not be less than 25,000 rupees, which may extend to 1 lakh rupees. Yes, sir. Sir, if at all any director contravenes any of this particular section, sir, then, sir, it is liable for vacancy of a director as per section 167. If at all you do not follow with any of the directions given, or if a director or an officer of the company has been convicted of an offense under this section, it is proven that yes, something is wrong, sir, then your office will be vacated. Yes, sir. Sir, as such and on such vacation of office, he shall be disqualified from holding an office in any other company as well. Pakka, clear, sure, all of you, any doubt? Okay, sir. Sir, quickly, what did we see? Let us do a quick recap. Sir, section 206. Sir, a company or any other person, he has filed certain documents with the registrar. Registrar, while scrutinizing it, he may feel something is required. He may ask for information. The company will give it. It will be the duty of every officer to give that. It can be past or present. From that information, the registrar may ask for even further information. Sir, the further information should also be given to the company. If not given, 1 lakh and 500 rupees penalty. And if the registrar feels that yes, something is problem and he wants to take it to inquiry, when on the information available or fraudulent or any such means on an application made by any person, sir, or third one, where the investor grievances are not addressed. Sir, if central government believes that there is something problem, then he may address for further investigation and further inspection of the company. Yes, sir. Sir, section 207 talks about the duty of the officers as well as the power of the inspector and registrar. People, very, very important, try to register the sections here in the class itself. Read this more than sufficient. Pakka, it is a very quick recap for you. Yeah. Okay, sir. Sir, section 208. Sir, in section 206 and 207, what did we do? We did inspection or we did inquiry. Correct? Yes, sir. Sir, after an inspection, the registrar can do it or the inspector can do it. Sir, now what they need to do? They need to prepare a report. They need to show what is their inspection findings. Sir, we have inspected. Now, this is what is we feel. They will give a report. Sir, to whom will they give? They will give it to central government. Sir, report on inspection made by the registrar or the inspector. After the inspection or the inquiry under section 206 or 207. Sir, now they have made, registrar or inspector, they have made their inspection. Sir, they will submit a report to the central government. Sir, what will that report include? It may include reasons and need for further investigation. Sir, now the registrar or the inspector, they may feel that no, the company is clean, absolutely no problem. If that is the report, then they will drop everything then and there. It will not go forward. Sir, the registrar and inspector feels something is still problematic. So, sir, here what happens? It will start continuing from central government. Registrar or inspector in the report, they will mention to the central government that we feel you need to do further investigation into the company. We have done inspection and inquiry. We feel now that you need to do what? Investigation. Go into deeper. Something is problematic. Who, sir? Sir, a report given by the registrar or the inspector says this. People, remember, I'll be giving you a cross reference in while doing section 210. Yeah, everything is connected, people. I'll tell you. Sir, now CG has delegated this power to receive report. Sir, now you are telling that the report should be given by the registrar or by the inspector to the central government. The central government has done one thing. What? A, for everything don't come to me. If at all, whatever non-compliance they have done, if the punishment shall be less than 2 years, then that application, that report, give it to the regional director. Sir, whenever this report should be given to central government, the central government has delegated this power to receive the report from registrar and inspector. This power is being delegated by the registrar to the regional director. Sir, who is a regional director? Regional director is the BAP of registrar. Sir, where is it given? Sir, see, sir, I come to MCA website, sir. Sir, I click on regional director here, sir. Sir, whenever I read this, can you see there? Sir, the 7 regional directors are in charge of respective region, each region comprising a number of states. They supervise the working of the officers of the ROC and official liquidator. So, sir, regional directors are who, sir? They are the BAP of registrars. So, sir, now the central government has given that power. Generally, who is the central government here? MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, AU. Nirmala Sitharaman says, for everything, don't run coming to me, man. I have appointed a regional director. There are 7 regions. So, for that, we have appointed 7 regional directors. You go and give your report to them. If the punishment is less than 2 years, it will be given by the regional director only. Sir, if the punishment shall be more than 2 years, then that application shall be again forwarded to central government by the regional director. So, sir, the registrar or inspector, they will have to give it to central government. this power has been delegated to regional director. Sir, he will only enforce this power, sir, as long as the imprisonment he can maximum order is up to 2 years. Sir, if regional director wants to order an imprisonment of 3 years, he cannot do it, sir. He needs to further pass this report, forward this report to the central government. When, sir, when the punishment is more than 2 years, regional director does not have the power. Now, central government comes into picture. Clear? All of you, any doubt? Sir, 206, sir, registrar does inspection inquiry, sir. Sir, 207, sir, power of the registrar or inspector and the duty of the company employee director, sir. Sir, 208, sir. Sir, the report, whatever the registrar and inspector has done, sir, they will give that report to the central government, sir. In that report, they may specify, it is may. Sir, they may specify that there is a problem here. Central government, can you please look into it? Central government now will take it seriously. Yes, sir. Now, if you see, the power is going like this. First registrar, inspector, central government, it is going on. It is going on like a step. Correct? Sir, now it is with central government. Yes? Huh. Sir, section 209. Sir, what is this? Section 209, search and seizure. Sir, the next section, section 209, search and seizure. Sir, search and seizure, section 209. What is this? People, again, what? You would have seen in many movies. What, sir? Sir, you take, I don't know how many of you watched this movie, Shivaji movie. Have you seen this movie? Shivaji movie. Motte was, Gundu was, Rajnikant. Yes, sir. Sir, in that villain, Rajnikant, what will he do? He will take he'll go to a normal call, the telephone, public telephone. He will, he'll keep his mouth like this, and he will make a call to the villain, that is the Suman, the MP. He will tell that the income tax raid is happening on your house. Sir, what will Suman do? Immediately, he will put all that black money, sir, all the documents, sir, all the property details, sir, everything he puts in a van and he'll tell them to take it from here first. You remember that particular thing? Sir, same thing, sir, search and seizure. Sir, what is this? Sir, the registrar, the inspector, they got to know that the ROC or inspector, they got to know that the company has got to know that the registrar or inspector, they have started investigating into the company. It is not safe if we keep these documents here. So now what did the company or the officer or the employee or CS or CA, sir, any person, now what did they decide? Sir, what did they decide? They started to destroy the documents. Sir, hide the documents somewhere. Sir, mutilate the documents. Sir, deface the documents. Sir, end of the day, the company got to know that their company is under investigation. Sir, now whatever we can do, quickly we need to make sure we hide all this or destroy all this, sir. That is our agenda. Sir, now ROC or inspector, they will become the Singham. What? Scorpio, zoom. They will come down of the Scorpio, get down of the Scorpio, even without stopping it, because it is urgent matter. No, they will just overtake everything. And they'll stop everything. Hey, you, stop. Don't even touch one paper. Put everything down. You are not supposed to do it, section 209. Sir, what does it say? ROC or inspector believes that a company, KMP, director, auditor, CS, if no CS, then practicing company secretary, they may destroy. So I got to know that you are going to destroy the documents or mutilate, alter, I'm changing the details, falsify, secret the books and papers relating to them. End of the day, I'm doing some damage to the documents and papers. Sir, now what will registrar and inspector do? They will take a phone. Basically, they need to apply to the special court. Sir, special court, it is a court which is set up in as per section 435 of Companies Act. Sir, whenever it is a matter to deal with certain things, so they will go to the special court. Sir, so they'll make an application stating that, sir, please give us an order. We need to go and stop from these parties destroying these documents. Sir, the special court will give an order. Sir, it shall order for entering such place. Go. All hero style. You kick the gate open, kick the door open, and search and seize the necessary papers after allowing the company to take copies. If the company wants, sir, if you seize the documents, I want it immediately, sir. I want to file IT returns. Sir, please, please keep it, sir. Okay, you do one thing. You take a copy of it, you keep it with you, and I'll seize the books. So you need to allow the company to take copies and you have to seize the books. People always remember the difference between seize and forfeit. Seize means it is always a temporary period. You cannot have it forever. Whenever I say the word seize, it is seized. Meaning what, sir? Sir, it is always for a temporary period. Sir, forfeit is always for a permanent period. Clear? Okay, sir. Sir, see, the seized papers must be returned within 180 days. The maximum time you can keep it, that is why I told you, it is temporary. So the maximum time you can keep any documents with you shall be for 180 days. Sir, the registrar or inspector, if they feel they want this for some more details, some more days, they may call the documents for further more period of another 180 days, not more than that. So, sir, it will be 180 days plus another 180 days. That is the maximum they can have the documents with them. Is this clear? Sir, any doubts here? No doubts? Okay. Let us look one examination question. Sir, there is a company called KF Limited. Sir, the shareholders of KF Limited, they got to know that this company has been doing fraud for lot of time, many years. So, the documents, whatever is required, everything is the office. The directors are trying to destroy the documents. Whatever is the documents which says that yes, they have done the fraud and all, the directors are trying to destroy the documents. So the shareholders immediately went and they filed their application with registrar. Sir, can you please go stop them from destroying the papers? Sir, this application was given by the shareholders to ROC at 10 o'clock. Our ROC was a very prompt officer. The ROC immediately took the Scorpio. He went, that Singham style. Even before the jeep stopped, we got down. He immediately said, stop there, don't do anything, keep the paper down. Sir, he immediately went. By 10:10 he was there. Now the question is, whatever is the action taken by the registrar, is it valid? Is the question. That is how the question was asked. Sir, Singham and all was there? No, that is masala which we put. Yes, sir. Sir, now tell me, is this valid? Pause and try to think. Yes. Yes, sir. Is it valid? You are 100% what, sir? Wrong, I believe it is right. Okay. What does the law say? People, no matter, this is a lacuna in the law. It could have been in the other way, but yes, it is a lacuna. What is that, sir? People, they do not have so much power. Why, sir? You just told, no, sir. They can go and stop. No, sir. What are you telling, sir? People, you can do that, but on the way, ROC needs to go to the special court, file for an application, take the permission, and then only you can go to the premises. Why, sir? You cannot miss this step. The special court is very, very important. Clear? A question had come from this point. So that also I have told you here. Very important. Clear? Pakka? Sir, 206 inspection, sir. Where the ROC is asking for information, sir. Sir, 207 power and duties of the officers as well as the registrar inspector, sir. Sir, 208, sir, 208, where a report is made by the registrar or inspector to the central government, which may include that you may have to take a further more investigation. Sir, 209, sir, Singham, sir. Sir, coming and overtaking and all that part, sir. Search and seizure. Pakka, clear, any doubts? Sure, awesome, yes, sir. Yes, people. The next section, section 210, investigation into affairs of company. People, in section 206, you saw inspection and inquiry. Sir, in 207, we saw the powers and duties of officer, power of our inspector and our registrar. Sir, 208, whatever is the inspection and inquiry they have passed in section 206 and 207. Sir, that report shall be given by the registrar or the inspector to the central government. Why, sir? They may request for further investigation. You remember here. Yes, sir. Report, it may include reasons and need for further investigation. I told you section 210. Yes, sir. It is starting of the investigation by the central government, sir. Sir, the next authority is coming into picture, CG. Sir, investigating into affairs of the company. People, if CG is of the opinion, that it is necessary, if it feels it is necessary to investigate to the affairs of the company, sir, when will it happen, sir? When, sir, on the receipt of a report from an ROC or inspector. Sir, section 208. Sir, section 208. Sir, alli, sir, vaha, sir, akkada, sir, ange. They have given us a report 208 asking us to further investigate. So, sir, when will the CG even think of investigating? First ground, when the inspector or the registrar has given a report for the central government to do further investigation. 202, 210, read together. People like this, there are many sections which you need to do hand in hand. Pakka, yes, sir. Sir, or when a special resolution is passed by the company. Sir, the shareholders of the company, they pass a special resolution and they say, the company, something is problematic. I want, please, sir, central government, kindly look into the affairs of my company and can you please investigate? Second one. Sir, third one, in the public interest. Hey, you know, none of you, don't give me anything. I will only take the step in the public interest. So moto. So moto meaning, people, on its own. I don't need your application. If I feel, I will only do it. So, in public interest by so moto by central government. Sir, or when an order is given by any court or the tribunal, NCLT, to investigate the affairs of the company. People, I will give you a cross reference to this point in section 213. Remember. So, sir, section 210, sir, a central government may, that is if it is of the opinion that it is necessary to investigate the company affairs. When, sir, when a application is received, when a report is received by the registrar or inspector as per section 208, sir, special resolution is received by the company. Sir, third one, sir, when in the public interest, the central government only does it so moto. Sir, fourth one, sir, any order is placed by a tribunal, some court is telling me to do, I will have to do. Says what, sir? Section 210. Sir, now, sir, if an order is given by the registrar, it's okay. Inspector, it's okay. Sir, so moto also, it's okay. Sir, tribunals also, it's okay. But, sir, if special resolution is passed, sir, you think how many frivolous, what is frivolous, nonsense applications can come to central government to conduct investigation. So you know what did central government say? Hey, you deposit money with me to conduct investigation and I want expenses, you need to pay for that. So, sir, an applicant shall deposit a security amount of not more than the maximum you can collect is 25,000 rupees. Sir, Papa, no, sir, he is trying to give you a case, sir. He is trying to show you torchlight, and sir, there are the fraud, sir. And you're telling to pay them for the battery cost. What, sir? People, if at all that person is proven guilty, the director, the company on whomsoever you are filing a case, the prosecution happens, that is the fraud is proven, sir, that money will be refunded to you. Towards investigation expenses it will be given. How much, sir? Maximum is 25,000. Sir, it shall be refunded if it results into prosecution. Sir, if maximum is 25,000, but how much they can take, it depends upon the turnover of the company. Sir, if the company's turnover is 50 crore, security deposit 10,000, 50 crore and up to 200 crore. Sir, 15,000. Sir, more than 200 crore. Sir, 25,000. So, maximum is 25,000. Yes, sir. People, there is a cross reference to this section about the security deposit. It is also there in section 214. Sir, what does it say? Come, I told you, this entire chapter is interlinked. Many places, many sections will have reference. I'll keep on giving that cross references to you. Come to section 214. See here, security for payment of cost and expenses of investigation. Where an investigation is ordered by central government, sir, as per section 210 1B. Sir, section 210 1B. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where did it go? 1B. Or in pursuance of an order made by tribunal under section 213, the central government may, before appointing an inspector, require the applicant to give a security not exceeding 25 crore. Such security shall be refunded to the applicant if the investigation results in prosecution. Clear? Pakka? Any doubts? Sure? Yes? Okay, sir. Aram se. Take it aram se. Sure? Yes? Okay, sir. Sir, yes, sir. If at all now central government is satisfied, 4 people, any of them can give me an application. Yes, sir. Papa, they have given me money also. Yes, sir. If central government is now satisfied, central government shall appoint one or more person as the inspector now to carry on the investigation. We are still seeing whether the central government should it do the investigation or not. Pakka, clear? Any doubts? Sure? Yes, sir. Sir, examination based question. Sir, a company had 400 shareholders. A company had 400 shareholders. Sir, in this, 200 shareholders gave an application to the central government and they agreed to also deposit 25,000 rupees with the central government to carry on the investigation on the company. First thing, whether do they have the power to give this application to the central government? Yes. Can or is the central government obliged to accept this application? What will be your answer? Sir, 200 shareholders has given an application to the central government. Yes, sir. What will be your What will be your answer? What? Sir, yes, sir. The first thing, people, just because now we did the provision, now you will know the answer. But imagine, it can be even I'll tell you the next question. It will revolve around one word. That too such a smallest word. I'll tell you in the next question. Yes, sir. People, here nowhere the law says under section 210 that the shareholder should give a application. The law says that it is what, sir? It is a special resolution which needs to be passed. Correct? It is a special resolution which needs to be passed. About the number of shareholders, there is one more section which talks about it. We'll come to that part. This part clear? So sir, 200 shareholders, 50 shareholders doesn't make difference. You just have to give me a special resolution. Yes sir. People, just a question for your mind. Assume my company has 400 shareholders. Now, out of the 400 shareholders, sir, 100 shareholders came for a meeting. Out of 400 shareholders, 100 shareholders came for a meeting. Now the company needs to pass a special resolution. Now the company needs to pass a special resolution. Sir, this is the total strength of the shareholders. This is the people who came for the meeting. Sir, to pass a special resolution, how many people should vote? Special resolution, all of us know, sir. Sir, please stop treating us like an elementary. Yes, sir. 75%, that is 3/4. Yes, sir. 3/4 of which number you will take? 400 or 100? Even if you thought for a 1 second, no? 1 second, then yes, the examiner can play with your mind. Even if you had thought for 1 second, the examiner can play with your mind. So 75% of what will you consider? Is it of 400 or 100? People always remember the special resolution is always taken on the number of people present in the meeting. Yes, all of you agreed? Okay, sir. Now, let me complicate the problem a little more. Sir, out of 100, sir, 5 people did not said no. 5 people said no to a resolution. Sir, 15 people said yes to a resolution. Sir, rest of the people, assume somewhere around 30 people did not vote. Yes, so 40 by 50. Sir, rest of the 50 people, there was some problem. Say for example, invalid votes or whatever. Now, how will you calculate a special resolution? Very basic, sir, all elementary. Sir, what? This elementary, sir, pakka we don't know. Touch your heart and say, man. Yeah? Now, when I'm asking you this question, you should not smile. If you smile, that means you don't know. All of you smile, no? Yes? Yes, sir. People always remember 75%. See, the provision is very simple. Sir, the number of votes for the resolution shall be 3 times the votes against the resolution. Sir, if it is 5 here, then if I have to pass the resolution, it should be at least 15 votes. Now, this will be called a special resolution. Sir, did not vote. Invalid votes are not at all considered. Are you guys understanding? All that is required for me. 75%. Sir, the number of votes for the resolution shall be 3 times the vote against the resolution. That's all. Only these 2 things you need to take to calculate whether a special resolution was passed or not. Now, understood? Yes, sir. Now, people, this was the first question. Yes, sir, special resolution needs to be passed. Sir, second question. Sir, a company passed a special resolution properly and it has given an application to the central government. Now, you guys tell me whether central government should it take an action or it is optional. Sir, is it directory? It is discretionary? Or is it mandatory? Special resolution is passed. Yes, passed. They have given a report application to the central government to conduct an investigation under section 210. Pakka, yes sir. Everything is proper. Now the question is, they are asking you whether the power, whatever central government has, is it a discretionary? Can they say, hey, go shareholders, I will not take your case? Or is it mandatory? They should take a case. Now, what do you say? This is what I told you. It is an exam-based question revolving around one word. Yes, sir. Pause and think. Pause and think. Don't, keep on watching. Pause and think. Yes, sir. Let us go back. Let us see what we wrote. Sir, if CG is of an opinion, so central government should be convinced. So, sir, it is not a mandatory one, it is a discretionary one. If central government is not convinced, I will not take up the case. It is a discretionary one. Remember this. All of you. Pakka? Yes? Okay, sir.